All right, what's going on, everybody? Happy Monday, and welcome to the Low Stream. Dusty and Tommy Gazzola with you. We are sitting here at Beaumont Boston Pizza. Tommy, you made it.
I made it.
I was a little worried. Were you driving fast?
No. Speed limit. Just,
Speed limit.
Very
efficient. Very. You're against the. You're with the law, right?
Yeah. There was a lot of red light cameras and speed cameras on 50th Street, but
I hope not.
there's a lot of
flying down there.
Yeah. Hey, man. They need to make their money too, but no, made good time from Commonwealth. Look for some videos. I had a chance to catch up with JMO and Rick Lawlisher.
Oh, Rick too. Perfect.
Yeah, it was great.
I guess,
and looking forward to the 75th season of the Elks and Eskimos. And you know what? It honestly felt like there's a good vibe and good energy. This franchise, this city, this area needs it with the football team. I know people like to poo-poo the CFL, and I don't like that, but I know they do it. And I know there's a lot of people out there that want to cheer for the team and enjoy going down to those games. And I think, there seems to be some positive momentum.
Well, you're a season ticket holder.
I am and have been for a long time,
exactly.
but I also covered the team.
Yeah.
And so I can take off the double E hat. I will not use the term we, and I will use they, but
you could almost do it. It'd be close.
I will not. I will never.
You might not get away with that.
Even when I did the games a couple of seasons ago, and I was looking at like everybody in my seats. And I was like, I should be up there right now instead of working. But it was good to do those games.
No, that's good. And I got the email on the release of everything they got going.
Yeah.
It looks like a busy time.
Super busy.
Yeah.
They're going to have great events. The alumni is going to be heavily involved. They're going to connect basically every era. Dahmer said it in his announcement today that they're going to announce like the best team of the decade, right? All-star teams
I saw that. And then like the team, the 75-year team.
So
that's cool too.
That element's really cool. The logo that they unveiled today, beautiful, a job well done. And Dahmer, he let it slip deliberately. A new look, he says, you might see on the field.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
So a New Jersey coming for year 75.
There is a New Jersey coming for year 75.
Well, I hope the numbers are easy to read.
No, you're going to be very upset.
I hope the numbers are easy to read.
I will say this. Someone may have allowed me to see it.
Yeah.
I really like it. And I think they did a nice job blending old and new.
Is it dark on light? Can you just tell me that?
No, you're gonna have a hard time seeing the numbers. Sorry,
Come
dog.
on. Is there a yellow outline?
There's a yellow outline.
Okay, well then I could probably work with a yellow outline.
You can, but anyway, I think the jersey looks great, and the uniform, I should say. I won't reveal too much. I'll just say it was a nice mix of nods to the past. With a combination of some new elements, uniform-wise, and it'll definitely be an Elks / Eskimos jersey that you'll be like, oh, that's a double E.
We are, in fact, we're working on some pretty exciting stuff with the Elks for Edmonton Sports Talk. So, you're going to hear a lot of Edmonton Elks talk, more than we had on 1260. I'll guarantee you that right now here on Edmonton Sports Talk. So it should be pretty good. This is not the Elks stream. Not yet.
No, but like,
I mean, we are thinking of having an Elks. We're probably going to have an Elks show. Like
we are going to have an Elks
pre and post
game
for sure, but we might even have a weekly Elks show too. So
that's awesome.
There's a lot going on there. Tommy, we are at Boston Pizza in Beaumont. They are hammering out this Madri, this Soul of Madrid, this beer for the upcoming summer. They said big push on this Madri. So I might have to try one of those here at some point. And I've got a Blue Moon. Yeah. I have ordered a square footer pizza for us.
Boom, I'm starving.
I got you, buddy.
All right.
Now I did get my favorite. I got the pepperoni and bacon one. Is that okay?
Yeah, no, that's great.
All
right.
I wasn't sure if you wanted veggies on it or whatever, but
no.
Pepperoni and bacon square footer is in the house. So we're gonna hit that here a little bit later on as well, which I'm very much looking forward to. I'm a little hungry myself, a little famished.
Famished?
We've come to the right place. We've come to the right place here at Boston Pizza. So Klima's Lid from Twitter's here.
Yep.
And then Penner's Pancakes and RCN in the house having some lunch as well, which is awesome. It's great to see you.
Klima's Lid telling me no more Bob Barker impersonations.
Were you doing Bob Barker?
I did Bob Barker. Forgot about that.
When did you do that?
I think it was on the Hangout on Friday.
Really? I have a feeling it probably wasn't very good.
It was awful.
Yeah, that's okay.
And that was reiterated to me.
Who really does a good Bob Barker?
It's a hard one to do.
Like, I think that's tough to do. That's tough to do.
Yeah.
All right. 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999. And we will, we'll get to some of your text messages. So you can fire those over. You can hit us up in the nasty chat. We'll go there as well. There's no shortage of things to discuss coming out this weekend. I was with you on Saturday night.
That was fun.
And great post-game show. People were fired up.
Yeah.
And man, last night's game, I hopped into the post-game show after that because you lose to the Leafs. Okay, the Leafs are a good team.
Right.
Still should have played way better. But then you blow one against a team like Ottawa.
Oh my goodness!
Who you made their power play look like your power play last year. It was like face off, one pass here, over here, one timer, score, and then do it again, and then make a breakdown that led to the Baptist power play goal. That was just. I mean, what happened? What happened in that game?
Chychrun scored the same goal twice.
I know.
Chychrun, he's having a terrible year. So, it got feisty on the post-game show because people were saying, Pickard. I'm sorry. Yes, I would like to see him make those saves, but after you first of all, 3 goals off of faceoffs, some people were pointing out, soft calls. Yeah, they were soft calls. Absolutely. Chris Dahlblog said, I didn't see that one on Desharnais. That was a nice way of saying you didn't like it, obviously.
Yeah.
People think, what do you mean you didn't see it? Well, you saw it. And then the refs made up for it with a soft call on the Sens. So that was a quash. But I'm sorry. If you are allowing the same goal twice on the PK, shame on you.
And Chychrun got all of these shots.
He bombed
these
them.
weren't things that he knuckled on and you're like, oh, what's Pickard doing? If Draisaitl scores those, nobody says the goalie should have stopped it.
Not a thing.
Nobody in the world says that.
Not a thing.
So, and I know Chychrun's not Draisaitl, but I'm saying Chychrun got a lot of those pucks.
He bombed them
he
from
hammered
15
them
feet out.
So,
and
I didn't like the Stützle short hit, the short
that
side
one. I didn't.
That one should have been stopped.
Yeah, the Batherson one. How do 2 guys on the PK back off and let him walk right down Main Street? And I know it was a clean shot, but man, these guys can fire that puck like a BB. Batherson did. I'm putting the Stützle. I'll put the Stützle one on Pickard.
Yeah,
but the other one's
no chance.
Sorry, I know he only made 11 saves last night. I'm apologizing profusely again, but you can't give those kinds of opportunities up. Like I said last night, Edmonton in its own zone, brutal for the few moments in the game that they were in their own zone. Because outside of that, neutral zone, okay. Outside of the Stützle goal, where I think it was full goal on the back check, covering for CC, stumbled and gave the lane to Stützle. But outside of that, neutral zone, they were okay. Offensive zone, they dummied the possession numbers. They were just all over Ottawa.
All over. But B Mother Reviews here on YouTube right now in the nasty chat says Ottawa only had 13 shots or whatever, but it seemed
16.
it seemed like they were all 2-on-1s and wide open slot shots.
Exactly.
You could argue that they could have had more goals. I don't know if
which is ridiculous, but yeah.
I mean, 10 seconds in, they had the one-timer that went off the bar.
I know.
10 seconds in.
I know.
I don't even know technically how you could allow that to happen that early into the hockey game. So it was, I don't know. It felt like with the way it was going, the way that game was going, that the Oilers are going to kind of put their foot on their throat and finish it off.
They should have.
And then they just didn't. And a penalty kill is just if you're concerned about anything coming out of the weekend.
Yeah.
And they're still a really good team.
Yes.
Tough weekend.
They're still a contender, Dusty. A lot of people are like, this
doesn't
team's never
change
going to
their
win
contender
a thing.
status.
But
they have provided us with a number of things to talk about.
Good.
One, and I'm just gonna make a quick note of the things that I do want to talk about.
Okay.
But one of them would be the penalty kill. The penalty kill, you should be it's legitimate to be concerned about the Oilers' penalty kill over the last little stretch.
Well, you go 1 for 4 on the PK against the Ottawa Senators.
Yeah, 25th power play in the league.
I know they have some high-end players, but 25th in the league, that's pretty telling. Edmonton goes into the night 14th on the PK in the NHL. They end up in 18th because of how bad they were on the
That's
PK.
How bad that night was.
You dropped that much in one night against the Ottawa Senators. That is definitely a concern. And I was having this conversation with Belzy. Belzy was calling me. He's hopping on NHL Network right away here. And he's like, okay, what the hell is going on with this PK? I'm like, well, Belzy, it was awful to start the year. Then Mark Stewart goes in, fixes some things. They start executing. It gets way better. Climbs all the way up to 8th. I think it peaked at 8th.
Yeah.
That's great. And then they come back from the break, and it's back down and being bottom of the barrel. And now they've kind of settled into the middle of the pack, but it's either really good, lights out, stopping everything, or it's an absolute train wreck like it was last night. That's the Jekyll and Hyde portion that concerns me.
There's so many things that we can discuss, and we will. And your comments, obviously, to the nasty chat. We want your text messages, 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999, and we will get to those as well. Big thanks to everybody who came out on Saturday for pre and posted Hudson's. That was a very good time as well. We can get to the Leafs game. We have to get to that as well. But oh man, one of the comments came in I wanted to get to because I know you were talking about it on the post game last night.
Was it me getting fired up about the goaltending thing?
No,
I kind of popped off a little bit.
No, I guess it would have been last night on the post game show. People were out, and you said I think when you were talking with Cass that you thought Stetcher would have been in.
I thought Sunday. He would have been in.
So I guess my question is, why wasn't he in? Like, why did you you watch the way your blue line played? Nurse, you're not taking Nurse out, but no good against Toronto. Bouchard, we know what happened against Toronto. Yeah. I mean, that shouldn't happen. It's happened a couple of times now.
Yes.
But you're not taking those guys out. CC was okay for CC standards, I thought, on Saturday night.
CC, and people were dumping on CC. Cass said it. I agree with him wholeheartedly. He's just become the whipping boy. And I'm sorry. I'm going to stop saying I'm sorry. This fan base, us as media, there's always one or two players that just get the brunt of it. And right now it's CC.
Yeah, but I don't think I'm whipping CC by saying I prefer Stetcher.
No.
I think it's like disrespectful to Stetcher that people are like, well, CC, what do you think, he's garbage? CC, I thought against Toronto, based on expectations you have for defensemen, probably kind of met his against Toronto.
He's just an adequate NHL defenseman.
I thought maybe they could have taken Desharnais out and played Stetcher with Nurse yesterday.
Desharnais had a bad night.
Now, tough penalties,
right.
But not a great night either way for Desharnais. And I would we thought that would have happened last night or yesterday that Stetcher would have got back in. What are they going to do against Toronto, do you think? Like, do they go to Stetcher or against Winnipeg?
Winnipeg.
Do they go to Stetcher versus Winnipeg?
Okay.
Or do they run it? You ran it back there. I'm trying to think like why he wouldn't run it back again if he ran it back in the Ottawa on a back-to-back.
You get some fresh legs
made no
in.
Sense.
Yeah, I thought for sure you get some fresh legs in. Ryan goes in for Kane. That's another thing, by the way.
We'll get to that.
Stetcher goes in for Desharnais, and you let Desharnais ease back in, right? Like, I think in an ideal situation, you let him ease back in. But no, maybe the thought process was, let's get Desharnais up and running. Let's get him into a groove again. Get him playing like he was before.
Yeah.
That's my only hunch that's the rationale behind playing Desharnais and not getting Stetcher in. And Cass said it too. He's like, hey, at the end of the day, Stetcher's the extra D-man. They're making that pretty clear. When Stetcher has gotten in his last two games, his last one especially was good.
Yeah,
obviously. It's a small sample size as well. I mentioned that earlier or last week.
But if we look at sample sizes since he arrived, he's done more than the other guys, I think.
And that's fair.
Yeah,
and that's good. That's a good problem to have.
I thought he should have played. I think he's being viewed as their extra defenseman.
Yes,
but I think when it comes down to it in the playoffs, I think he won't be an extra defenseman. I think he'll be in the mix. And when I say that, I don't mean like all the time, but I think he's going to play games.
Oh, absolutely.
And you're not an extra when you're actually getting rotated in.
And I think it depends on who you're facing, what their forwards' tendencies are. They're a heavy forward unit. Like if he's playing against Vegas, I could see Desharnais being the guy getting in, CC being the guy getting in over Stetcher just because of the heavy bodies.
All right, your text messages to 780-218-9999. Bunch of them are coming in. We will have your keyword coming up. Look at this thing. Look at this square footer. Are you kidding me?
Oh my goodness.
We will have your keyword coming up for the EST Flyway to Vegas. We'll do that probably in about 20 minutes. Tommy, grab that pizza. We got to put that up on camera here. It's probably
look at this.
It's so hot.
Woo. Oh.
It's probably a little hot, eh?
Oh. No, it's okay.
Look at this thing. This is the square
the waitress can put her hands
Pizza.
on the plate. I can too.
Look at this thing. I don't even want to touch it. You touch it. Look at this. Look at this pizza. Mia. Are you kidding me?
Look at this.
I'm just gonna tease it right here. Watch this.
Oh, cheese pull.
Oh yeah. I'll take that slice. It's hot right now though. That pizza. That is
I'm telling you,
this is a game changer. Boston Pizza. You love Boston Pizza anyway. This is a completely different look. And it's delicious. It's absolutely. We're going to destroy that thing.
In this show?
We're going to destroy that thing. We have 40 minutes. I'm going to be having a couple bites as we work our way through the show. I'm telling you right now, let it cool down. I'm not going to be able to sit here for 40 minutes and not eat pizza. Are you kidding me? Damn, that looks good.
It.
That looks good. I totally forgot what we were even talking about.
Stetcher.
I thought we were done with Stetcher.
Yeah,
but we get some more of your text messages, and of course in the nasty chat here as well. If you haven't had one of these, order one, whatever, however you got to get it. Come on in and have one. It is absolutely delicious. Okay, so I asked this question last night on Twitter, and I haven't checked. I'll have to scroll through about 1 million tweets that I put out every single morning.
I love it.
About all the shows, but I threw this question out last night. Which game disappointed you more, or what was worse? I asked the question. Crushed by the Leafs, Saturday night, national TV, 36.2%. Blowing it against Ottawa, 63.8%.
I agree with that.
Yeah, blowing it against Ottawa?
Yeah, you can't. You can't. You said it on the post-game show. They're not going to lose to Ottawa, and they did.
I know.
Thank you.
But to also get, like, everybody knows the game against the Leafs is a huge one. The whole nation's watching. And I'll say this, if they don't put together this fake-ass comeback in the third period of that game, if the Leafs end up winning that game 5-0 or 6, like, that's I think it might be the other way, but they sort of like saved face a little bit.
Not really.
By scoring some goals in the third period, depending on who you talk to.
If you believe that was good momentum going into Sunday, you're out of your
we
mind.
said that on the post-game show.
Yeah.
Like, if they were going to beat Ottawa, which they should have, it would be because they're way better than Ottawa, not because they got some garbage time goals against the Toronto Maple Leafs on a game in which they got ran around.
They got
on Saturday night. Okay, and let's continue this conversation. We're on this Toronto game now, so let's go there.
Yep.
I see some of your text messages about GM stuff from Friedman. We'll get into Evander Kane. I got a note on that as well, so we'll get into that. So keep your comments rolling in. We will get to some of those, and obviously over on YouTube, hammer the thumbs up for us if you wouldn't mind. Portions of the oil stream are also brought to you by Boston Pizza.
Yes,
are on Popeyes as well, where they got that flounder sandwich until the end of the month, moving like hot cakes, I guess, but fish version.
LTE.
Yeah, I mean,
dipping into that.
He's single-handedly making the flounder sandwich at Popeyes a movement. So you've got that going for you right now. Yeah, he's all in. I think every time you watch an Oilers game, you see those huge ass wings pop up on the boards as well. So Popeyes isn't messing around. Blackened chicken sandwich would be my recommendation, but they're all absolutely delicious at Popeyes. Okay, so as far as the game goes against the Leafs, and I think Drager, or maybe it might have been Rashog this morning. Yeah, it was Rashog.
On the mandate?
Yeah, Rashog brought it up on the mandate this morning about just how no, actually, I think it might have been Drager. I don't know if we technically talked about Edmonton, but yeah, it was about Joel Edmonton and his treatment of Leon Draisaitl. And, just like Toronto was actually giving it to the Oilers stars.
Yep.
And there didn't seem to be a lot of pushback until Matthias Janmark decided to fight Domi out of nowhere with how much time was left.
Good for Janmark. Like, I like that. I admire it. And I'm sure the players on the team did too. But, and Sean Bell brought it up to me. He's like, why is Janmark the guy doing this again?
Janmark can't be that guy. Like,
he's not that. And that should be a signal to the rest of the, like, Carrick can do it. Man, if you're Evander Kane and you're doing diddly squat like he has been lately, that's where you should impose your will physically. That's where, like, Evander Kane going toe-to-toe and squaring off with Max Domi, that would be a brilliant fight. Domi is tough as nails. God. Kane is tough as nails when he wants to be. Kane's a very good NHL player when he wants to be. Kane is an imposing physical presence when he wants to be. Darnell Nurse, you're in your hometown, your team's playing like crap. Go lay a licking on somebody. And then you're letting one of the best players in the world, and Leon Draisaitl, who's a big guy, and probably, if he wants to, can handle himself physically, is getting manhandled by Joel Edmondson. Like, at least show that you're mad and that it's not acceptable. I know it's the last game of the season against the Leafs. I don't think both teams are making this down.
Though,
like, you're getting embarrassed. Be mad. That's I don't want to say it's telling, but
I just think
it's not a good sign.
Toronto's a team that you push around. Toronto's a team that other teams would push around. Like, how are you letting Toronto be the bully?
There was no Ryan Reeves.
It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense to me.
No.
So yeah, that was a strange one. I mean, we kind of talked about it enough on Saturday night, but a couple of plays, that one goal where Nurse is just like, he stopped at the blue line and then just like glided back, not doing anything.
You did the stance.
He was upright.
Prone.
He was upright. He was just sort of gliding back, watching everything. And then there's the Bouchard play in the corner, which, I mean, that can't happen in the playoffs, right? Like, I'm not.
No.
Like, we know it can't, but it won't happen in the playoffs, will it? If that happens in the playoffs, what are you doing? Like,
well, you take him aside. You go, Evan, we don't do this because I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
you yell at him.
You freak out on him.
This is the playoffs.
Hopefully they did that night.
And to his credit, he's been better in the playoffs defensively the last 2 years.
That's why I'm hoping that there's like more engagement there in the playoffs. Like,
this is not the time of year where you need to have brain farts in your own zone and have busted coverages when you're expected to be. I think back to the Colorado game and the play on Nathan McKinnon with a couple seconds left on the clock. Tie him up. Can opener, whatever. Don't let him get the puck to the front of the net and Lehkonen buries it with 0.5 seconds. Oh, my goodness.
2 square footers.
Wow.
Okay, yeah.
What is that one?
That's the barbecue chicken. Yeah, bring that one.
That's the barbecue chicken? Is it hot? Buffalo chicken.
Buffalo chicken.
Oh,
yeah,
God.
Buffalo
Look
chicken.
at this.
Sorry.
Look at this.
Look at this thing.
Oh, my God. How does it smell?
It smells like it'd clear my airwaves here.
Oh, no coughing for you today.
No, well, a little bit.
And then you got the green onion
right now.
Regular onion.
That looks great. My goodness, we got too many. I don't know where we're gonna put.
I'm
this
just gonna
one.
put it on your lap. I'm just kidding. Let me. Oh, you guys
want
want
it? Say, if you want a slice, come get a
pancakes and
slice.
RCN want it. You guys want some?
Come get a slice.
Yeah.
And put it on that table there, and then take a couple slices.
Take some.
That is that's insane.
We
ordered. I ordered the pepperoni and bacon one, but they dropped one of those bad boys on us too. So
have some, Kev.
Feel free to grab a slice.
Yeah,
man.
grab some.
Yeah, feel free to grab a slice.
Yeah, get in there.
All right. Yeah, this text is in from Christopher Max says, "How does Edmonton roll your entire top line and nobody does anything? You guys need to get in there and hammer these guys and let them know they can't do that, right? Like Evander Kane or somebody could have gone up to Edmonton and been like, hey, enough of this." Or go out and slash Austin Matthews in the back.
Or Vinny Desharnais.
Dude, yeah, well, Desharnais might not be willing to.
Oh, with the busted up
I'll give him a little bit of a pass there.
Yeah.
But what's Kane's like? What's Kane's reason?
None. It's not engaged.
None at all whatsoever. So yeah, that's interesting. So a very disappointing game against the Leafs. Let's get to this text. Comes from Klima's Lid from Beaumont, who's sitting right there. In regards to Ceci, it may be time for him to watch on the press box while giving Troy from Richmond, Stetcher, an opportunity. Look at the third goal versus Buffalo. Ceci could have easily made a chip out of the wall. However, he elected to retreat into the D zone, rimmed the puck around the boards. There's no winger on the puck. The puck went to Buffalo D, ended up in their net. Well, and that's the thing. I mean, maybe it was even his account. I saw it in somebody's account. Was it your account that had the arrows up the boards? Was that okay? So I watched it. So Ceci had it here. And he had 2 guys here.
Nobody there.
He could have gone up the boards to one of those 2 guys, but he circled back and then got in trouble behind the net and soft rimmed it around.
That was the Paterka second goal.
Yes,
and I put that on. I didn't like.
You didn't
Skinner,
like
and Cass was saying like it was a bit of a change up because Ceci.
But Ceci was like 15 feet away from the blue line and had the boards.
That's why that.
Yeah.
Klima's Lid is right 100%.
And I will say this: I think Stetcher moves that puck up the ice, as opposed to
better
the
with the puck than Ceci. That I think we can say that with confidence.
Yeah, small sample size or not, I think you see natural urgency with the puck with Stetcher, like a willingness to move that thing up. Yeah. So we'll see. 780-218-9999. We'll have the key word for you to get off to Vegas here in about 10 minutes time. The other thing I don't like, and as came up today on the Nielsen show as well, somebody was just like, Bouchard's got this great goal differential, and nobody ever complains about Nurse. Everybody's always on Bouchard. I'm like, what? What are you talking about? Seriously, legitimate comment today on the Nasty Chat. Yeah, they're like, everybody comes after Bouchard. Nobody says anything about Nurse. I'm like, what city have you been in?
Yeah.
What city have you been in for the last 3 years? Everybody bitches about Darnell Nurse basically the entire time.
Yes.
Like Bouchard makes one boneheaded error, and it was.
Yep.
But if you point it out, people are like, well, you're all over this guy. I'm like, how? So you're just supposed to like pretend that he didn't try to get out of the way of Austin Matthews in the corner?
That's okay, Evan.
I just don't get it,
Don't
man.
do that next time. It's all good.
If Bouchard can figure out that part of the game, then he can legitimately be in like the top 10 D-men in the league conversation.
Yeah.
Like offensively, he's top 5.
Yes.
offensively, he's the top 5 D-men in the league.
You got to what?
It's just like other people will say, some people will say, well, actually, he's also a top 5 defenseman in the league. I'm like, sorry, that's not right.
He's not.
It's not true.
Offensively, sure.
I mean, I'll say this about Bouchard. If everybody loves Bouchard, split up him and Ekholm. See what you think. Let's do it.
They did a few weeks ago.
Exactly.
We had that. We
exactly.
had it. It was a disaster.
How'd that go?
Even with Ekholm, he's been spotty the last couple
Don't tell me
weeks.
that Bouchard's like the next coming when none of
Clean
you
was
have
lit,
faith to
like
play
this.
him with anybody but Ekholm. Come on. Like, it's just, I think you have to remember that. Like, if he's great in his own end, play him without Ekholm. No,
he's not there.
He's not there. Ekholm stabilizes the guy. He just does.
Yeah.
They're perfect. They're perfect together. Don't touch them. Leave them together. But that was kind of crazy. This one says, so Paul Coffey isn't one of the greatest defensemen of all time. Then Coffey couldn't defend. Yeah, I think there's easily a bunch of defensemen I'd rather have than Paul Coffey.
If you're defending,
if you're overall picking
a
defenseman,
yeah,
100%. Coffey was a great offensive defenseman. Same thing, but I'm taking Ray Bourque. I'm taking Nick Lidstrom. I'm taking there's a bunch of guys.
Zdeno Chara.
Like there's a bunch of guys. So same conversation. You're not switching our opinion on it.
I vaguely remember Paul Coffey, the Bruin, Paul Coffey, the Carolina Hurricane, the Hartford Whaler. I don't recall him as a Penguin, King, and Oiler.
It's too young.
I was pretty young, but I feel like, call this a hunch, confirm it to the older Oiler fans out there that remember the glory days. He probably wasn't on the ice protecting a lead in the last 5 minutes.
Kevin Lowe and Charlie Huddy out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably a little bit different. So anyway, your thoughts on it, 780-218-9999. Portions of the oil stream also brought to you by One Putt Virtual Golf. If you've not yet checked out One Putt, you definitely have to. I believe registration just closed for the four-man tournament.
Yep.
I think that was open until the 24th. So hopefully you got in. But they've been having a lot of success over there at One Putt. Awesome place. Check them out at oneputt.ca or find them on Instagram at One Putt YEG as well. And everybody who's been going there has been having an absolutely wonderful time.
Great setup.
All right, let's get to a few more of you. Here's Norman at Combine says, okay, enough with the pizza talk. I'm starving and I love buffalo chicken. Damn you guys. Bouchard is soft, very soft. Great offensive talent, but Nurse has bigger issues on Stony Plain Road. Have a good day, guys. Yeah, remember that was Nurse's line? I get blamed for like the potholes and stuff. Like,
yes, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, Darnell's been a little
good. I mean,
a little salty with us this year.
But I think Darnell Nurse does take some unfair criticism.
Yes.
I do sometimes. I honestly do.
Hey, I'll say this. He's been better this year, okay?
He has been better.
He has made some boneheaded mistakes. He plays 20 to 25 minutes a night.
What I think is tough to swallow is that he does a lot of really good things. And you're like, man, this guy's a thoroughbred.
He skates
and
so
then there's
well.
like, why are you just standing there watching? Why are you laying down?
Again, he has some boneheaded mistakes, but he's out there a lot. He's not perfect. And then a lot of it too, for whatever reason, and I'm sure this isn't the only market that's like this, but people get offended by players' contracts. And they mix that into the reason why they don't like somebody.
They do, don't they?
Yeah.
All right, let's get to this one from the Liquid Beaver.
Hello.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. This is what I see. Am I totally out to lunch? I find the Oilers are playing not to get hurt and just trying to stay healthy for the playoffs. How else can you explain it? Won't take a hit to make a play. Won't get into lanes to block shots. My goodness, we've seen them play excellent defensively. We all know they can do it. Yep. They just aren't doing it right now for whatever reason.
I don't know if it's a mental lapse. To ease up, to be ready and healthy for playoffs, I think is a loser mentality. If that's what they're doing. I don't think they're doing that. I think you want to be consistent in your play and go 110 at all times. And then if you let up too, sometimes that leads to injury because you're deliberately playing soft and you put yourself into a precarious situation. And for whatever reason in the sport of hockey, that can get you hurt. So I don't know. I want to believe that that's not the case.
All right. Keep those text messages rolling in. 780-218-9999. Let's see here. Jasmine says, what about hating on Cece? There are so many different things that you could say.
Yes.
Jasmine had a good time.
Yes, she did.
Saturday night. She had a lot of fun. Yep. Her one friend was dancing with Vance Van Vandervan.
Vance Van Vandervan had a great time.
Hey, Vance Van Vandervan, the whole city knows you had a good time. He was.
How about Tommy Rabella, who's in, where's he, New Mexico?
Being Vance Van Vandervan's brother?
Arkansas.
They're brothers.
I thought they were best friends.
No, they're brothers.
Oh, they're brothers.
Yeah, that's
Tommy Rubella's like,
Vance
there's a
Van Vandervan told me
90% chance that Vander Van is going to wet himself that night.
I mean, I didn't want to check, but I could have seen it. I could have seen it.
Vance Van. I didn't know they were brothers. I thought they were like
no,
really
I didn't know
good
it either.
friends.
I'm walking with Vance Van Vandervan and Dahmer at the end of the night.
Yeah.
And we're talking about Tommy Rubella. And it was funny because the other day, last Wednesday, I got a bunch of text messages early in the show, and they were Macramala intros with all the same theme. And I was like, how are Tommy Rubella and Vance Van Vandervan sending in these Macramala intros with the same theme? So then I thought, wait a second, is Vance Van Vandervan actually Tommy Rubella?
No, because they've come to the studio together.
Yeah, that's what I heard when he's in town. So
Yeah.
it turns out Tommy Rubella, Vance Van Vandervan are brothers.
Yep.
Tommy Rubella, you got to get your brother in check.
Don't. Just let him run wild. He was an animal.
He was having a great
funny.
time. I don't think anybody was dancing more at Hudson's than Vance Van Vandervan, and he wasn't on the floor. It was great. Guys, last couple of games have shown some big issues popping up. If the team does win the cup or make the finals, or if they don't, I think they're saying doesn't make the cup or make the finals, does it get blown up next season?
No.
If they don't get it done, how many tries do they get? Well, what are you supposed to do? You're supposed to blow it up and then Leon leaves with you? Like, that's a tough one.
I don't know why you'd implode a pretty good thing. Keep going. And then I know the Draisaitl conversation is going to start coming up, but I'm telling you, he wants to stay here.
Okay, well,
they make the money work.
They'll make the money work.
Yes.
Okay, I want to get to a couple that came in a little bit earlier in the show before we lose all these texts when the key word just hammers them on down. So we'll get into that. Hampton Steve is in and says, "Afternoon, boys. On 32 Thoughts today, Merrick and Friedman were discussing potential Columbus GM candidates and briefly mentioned that they think Mark Hunter will be an option for the Oilers if Holland doesn't return, which I think we all assume that he won't.
He won't.
Where would Mark Hunter be on your list as potentially the next Oilers general manager?
On the short list?
Yeah.
He was before when Keith Gretzky was mopping up that one season after Peter Chiarelli was done.
Yeah, that was a while ago.
Hunter, that was 5 years now.
Holland.
Yeah, before Holland. And so I think Hunter, we're going to hear his name pop up a bunch. I think that this would be a more lucrative opportunity than Columbus. Columbus is just, what is that now? Like, it's just a weird mishmash in Columbus right now. And then the other name, and I mentioned it the other day, is Dave Gagne's name came up.
You did mention that.
When I bounced it off of some people, they're like, yeah, I don't know if he necessarily wants to. But we'll see. Maybe they revisit it. Just people that are tied to Jeff Jackson certainly will be getting consideration. And the other thing too, and listen, I don't know how. I think he would want the job. Keith Gretzky, his name might pop up. He's been focusing obviously on Bakersfield and actually moved to Bakersfield a couple of years ago. So we'll see. It's interesting because it's not really a juicy landscape when it comes to potential GMs right now, is it? You don't hear a lot of sexy names. You're like, ooh, he'd be a great guy to mastermind a Stanley Cup contender for a few years. Like,
I think that's Eric Tulsky.
Yeah, there's one.
Tulsky's the one that pops up.
That's one that kind of we heard some rumblings about that last year.
Yeah, there'd be some sort of connections, I'm sure.
Yep.
Somewhere there as well. 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999, or hit us up in the nasty chat. We are coming at you from the Beaumont Boston Pizza, where it's just absolutely killing me. Toss me. Let me
Do you want one of these?
Yeah, I
Are
have
you just
that one.
Eat one?
It's got to be cooled down.
Do I need
bit.
to talk for a bit?
No. Let me just
talking too much
preview
already.
bite here.
Yeah, have a
preview bite. Look at this thing.
Do you want a plate?
Is it plates?
Yeah, there's plates. Let me get you a plate.
Oh boy,
how is it?
How do you think it is, Tommy?
Delicious.
This is
still
absolutely
warm?
terrific.
I'm gonna wait.
Oh, it's perfect now. It's not hot anymore.
Oh, okay, good.
And it's that crust is unreal.
Oh, I'm starving.
That's nice. That's really nice. All right,
good.
Let's keep these Rip City Steps. Says I always picked up coffee in NHL '98 and put them on the wing. Okay, so also on the mandate today, Rashad brought something up, which I think it's kind of been like an ongoing topic around here for a long time. But like the playoffs are what 13 games away.
Yes,
they don't have a top 9 right now. They're just the blender is out here, Tommy, and I'm trying to figure out why the blender's out so much.
We talked about that on the pregame show.
Yes.
I asked Cass, I'm like, what's your theory on this? Because there's no consistency. Like, we even said it's Saturday pregame. Are they loading up that big line with Draisaitl McDavid to get Hyman his 50th? All right, that's out of the way now. Good. They celebrated. They're very happy for him. Great moment on the bench. He looked like he was feeling it, and you like to see it. Now get to business if that was the case. I don't know if they're testing things out. I thought Henrique with Nugent Hopkins was odd. They moved McLeod back to center yesterday. They put Henrique on the top line. Do they need a set top 9?
I think so.
I would like that.
I think so.
I'm just asking out loud. Do they need one? I think I'd be comfortable with that.
I think they do. Like, you're going to roll into a playoff series and be like, well, here's your lines for game 1, and here's your lines for game 2.
Well,
like, there's a
you
reason
don't know
they
what
have
it is going to be for game 2.
You want to lock them in the game without putting McDavid and Draisaitl together. It's just like either you're starting with together or they're going together at some point.
Don't.
And they
just let them play on separate lines.
They have to stop doing it. You've got Nuge, McDavid, and Hyman, who, when are together, are arguably the best line in the National Hockey League. They're in that conversation. So why do you keep breaking, like,
I don't know.
Stick with your lines.
I don't know if there's some underlying numbers that they're looking at, and they're saying this guy in theory should be good with this guy, and maybe they're trying that out right now. It's a bit puzzling. Like, I would think, a few things for sure. You pointed out the Nugent Hopkins, McDavid, Hyman combination. Good. That's your first line. I'm cool with that. Another thing is keep Draisaitl and Kane on separate lines. Good. Find a good winger for Draisaitl. I like when he's playing with McLeod and Fogle because it makes him play quick. I wouldn't mind seeing him with Henrique and Fogle, something like that. Those are 3 good veterans. And then I don't know why Connor Brown's getting looks on the third line ever.
Well, I think it's because they don't have any other good options.
You have Corey Perry.
I would almost put Corey Perry.
Perry was on line with McDavid and Draisaitl a couple times.
For a little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
So what are they doing? Like,
it's almost like, I'm going to throw this out there. Hit us up in the inbox or the nasty chat. It's almost like Chris Knobloch is discovering all the dilemmas that Jay Woodcroft faced with these forwards.
After being really good for a long time. And now he's like, shit. What am I supposed to do here?
Oh, that's why they always put McDavid and Draisaitl together, because these guys don't do crap when they're not together.
All right, let's get to the keyword. And thanks for the reminder, Zacticum. I almost forgot. We're having a great conversation. We're coming back around to this. We're coming back around to the top 9. So if you want to chime in on it, 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999, and hit us up in the nasty chat as well.
I like when we get these weird texts.
Larry accidentally texted us and said, "Hey, Miz, Daddy's bringing home dinner."
Ooh.
That sounds nice. All right, let's get to your keyword for the oil stream today. And I will tell you the spelling on this one, just in case. You never know. Okay. This is for the EST flyaway to Vegas. 4 chances to qualify every single weekday. And then on Saturdays, Hello Hockey with Tommy and Billsy.
Yep.
Nonstop flights, 2 of them, down to Vegas from FlyYEG, 3 nights accommodations, tickets to a Cirque show. The keyword for the oil stream today, text it into 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. Today's keyword is Venetian. Venetian. It's a hotel in Vegas, not here in Beaumont, where they don't have hotels.
What's up with that? They do? Oh, Nisku does.
Yeah, Nisku. See you later, man.
Penner's Pancakes.
So Nisku, that doesn't matter. How far away is Nisku? 12 minutes.
Yeah, but that's not in Beaumont proper.
It's got to be a hotel somewhere. Anyway, the Venetian should expand to Beaumont.
That's a
here's how you spell it: Venetian, like Martian, but with Venetian.
Don't confuse me.
Venetian, Venetian. Text that to 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. You still get fascinated by how quickly those texts
love
come
it.
in.
It's neat.
You just sit there. We just need like a camera on your face when the text messages are coming. Just in a square box. You'd be like, what's going on with these text messages?
It's the little things.
It's great. Keyword today is Venetian. If you're listening on TuneIn or on iHeart, Venetian is the keyword over there. Best of luck, everybody. Zach, to come call somebody around 12:50 and let us know when that person is ready. Back to the nasty chat. More of these thoughts on the top 9, Andrew E says, I think Fogle could be in the top 6, but Kane needs to start giving a you-know-what. Well, so this was a discussion with Rashad today. This is what came up because, like, Kane and Draisaitl just don't seem to gel, but Kane should be a top 6 forward for you come playoff time.
Yes.
So I would, you know what I would do opening night of the playoffs? I'd put those two guys together and be like, you should be a very, very, very good second line. Kane, get your ass in gear. Go out and dominate a playoff series because you're both capable of it, and the team needs you. Like, you're gonna start the playoffs with Fogle and McLeod, I guess, alongside Leon Draisaitl, and then you're running Henrique, Perry, and Kane. Probably is what you would like to see.
That. I like the idea of that line.
So why not do Henrique between McLeod and Perry, Kane and Perry with Draisaitl, Henrique between McLeod and Fogle.
Again, I'm not putting Kane with Draisaitl for the rest of the year. If I'm the
coach. Then he's useless.
Why? Why can't he be good on a third line with Henrique and Perry?
He's just not. What? I mean, he should be. I'm with you. I don't want to disagree with you.
There's no reason for him not to be outside of his willingness to.
He hasn't scored in 5 weeks.
Was it February
19th?
19th.
Two goal game against the Coyotes. There we go. Cleeman's lid says Holloway's going to be up. You think Holloway's going to be up?
I think that's the intention, and Broberg too.
I don't think Knobloch will play Holloway ahead of Matthias Janmark.
I would.
Right? And Janmark's going to be on the left side. You say you would?
I would, yeah.
Yeah, I just don't think he will because Janmark's one of his penalty killers.
Yeah.
Right, like it's going to be tough. I think the bottom 6 desperately needs Holloway's speed. I know like the production hasn't necessarily been there, but guess what? Production hasn't been there for any of these other guys either.
I like the idea of Holloway instead of Connor Brown or Derek Ryan. I like that. I'd throw him on the right side, fourth line.
Yag Welder guys in says, I would like to see Kane with McDavid and Hyman, Draisaitl on the wing with Nuge and Perry. I actually don't think we've seen Draisaitl, Nuge, Perry line. I don't think we've seen that.
I like that. I like
13 games left. Try it again. I don't know. But you have to roll in. Like, are they going to be in a spot where there's a set, like in game 81, there's one set of lines, and in game 82, there's another set of lines?
It seems like it.
This is no different than Woodcroft.
I know.
And Tippett before him.
I know.
Like
X-Ray J, I think it was X-Ray J was like, it seems like Woodcroft all over again. Yeah. It's befuddling.
Okay, let me. I'm trying to run some lines here. Like,
go ahead. Okay, we can go through this exercise again.
Lines. I don't know. I just like Kane's lack of production has really kind of left them all in a weird spot. Him, the coach. No, actually, what do you think of game day maintenance day? That's a practice thing.
I saw that and I was like, And actually, Belzy and I on the phone, I was like, Sean, you played in the NHL. Like, what did you make of that? And he goes, it's fishy. And I was like, I said to Belzy straight up, I'm like, can guys on the team actually go to the coaching staff and be like, that guy's not playing? And Belzy's like,
I think
no.
There's certain players who could.
Belzy's like, no, it shouldn't be that way. It was never that way when I played. But then he goes, this might be the new generation. So I still want to believe that's not the case.
If that happens and Kane knows it happens, you've lost him. Like you've lost him.
Well, they lost him a couple months ago, man.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. I don't think. So you think like Draisaitl would have said?
I don't know. I don't want to believe that.
I don't think so.
I'm just I'm spitballing here. And I said to Belzy, like,
can
guys do that nowadays? He goes, it might be the new generation of player. Like that might. He's like, I don't think so. I don't want to believe so. It wasn't that way. But I'm saying there's a chance.
The wording of maintenance day on a game day never happens. Like a maintenance day is when you're good enough to play, but you're going to take practice off to rest up.
Yeah.
You don't do a maintenance day on a game day. So something didn't they should have just said he's out, upper body, will be good Tuesday.
What about healthy scratch because he hasn't done anything for the team lately?
Well, you know what? For a team that I think has always kind of been lacking in accountability, to actually announce Evander Kane was a healthy scratch would have gone a long way with the fan base to be like, oh, they do hold people accountable.
Yeah.
But they didn't.
No. Maintenance.
So
I don't know. I haven't heard anything about him being nicked up or anything in a while. So,
well, let's see how he plays on Tuesday.
Sure.
If he does play on Tuesday against the Winnipeg Jets. Urban Daddy says Perry needs to play fourth line minutes. Wilson the volleyball says fourth line has Holloway, Janmark, and Carrick together. Celtic Hockey says Perry's too slow for the top six. You often see him losing pucks because he's not agile or quick enough to lose players and checkers. Like, for Perry to be effective in the top six, he can't carry the puck ever.
No.
I think he's got to get it and move it and then go to the right spots, right? Like,
he's best with the puck on and off his tape in all three zones. Clever, quick plays, and then get in the right spot.
RCN, who's sitting right over there, 91, 97, 18. So that's that Kane line with McDavid and Hyman.
Yeah, okay.
Nuge with McLeod on the left side and Draisaitl on the right side.
Interesting.
Haven't seen that, I don't think, have we?
Do you like Nuge with McLeod? I think too much of the same. That's what comes up right away when I think about that.
And then
is that too much of the same?
Fogle with Henrique and Perry. At least there be some speed on that line with Fogle. Like, Fogle gets after it.
That to me seems like a balanced top
like a balanced top nine, yeah.
Yeah. That would be the theme if I look at that combination.
Brett says Perry's the perfect guy to basically float throughout the lineup. Like,
and
play him here, play him there,
yesterday.
whatever, yeah. B-Mother Review says Nuge is a winger, period. See, but this is like, the Oilers are playoff bound, depending on where you look. At our partners over at Coolbet, they're a co-Stanley Cup favorite. And we're still sitting here being like, who plays well with who? Like, all you really know is that McDavid and Hyman are automatic.
Yeah.
That's it. And by the way, congratulations to Zach Hyman. We've had a lot to discuss on the show today, but Zach Hyman hitting 50 goals is pretty unreal.
Yeah.
Think he does it again?
No.
No, this is
that's like Nugent Hopkins getting 100 points.
Yeah.
This is he's going to be 32. Fantastic. And he fully
I
acknowledged
that
settling
in with a couple of 40-goal seasons.
30 to 40. And there's nothing wrong with that. Like Nugent Hopkins, I know he's gotten some criticism this year, rightly so, because there's been stretches this year where he hasn't been particularly good. But he's kind of back to that 60, 70 point range again. He'll be there this year. And that's fine.
All right, let's get to our qualifier for the EST Flyway to Vegas. Zacticum, who do we have back on the line?
We got Luke on the other side here, just waiting.
All right, let's go to Luke. Luke, congratulations, man. You are one step closer to winning a trip down to Vegas.
Awesome. Thanks a lot, guys.
When was the last time you were in Sin City?
3 weeks ago.
What? You were in Vegas 3 weeks ago, you greedy bastard. Unbelievable. Yeah. Who'd you take with you?
I was there solo.
You went solo. Okay, I take it back. That's a real fun trip, I think. I've never gone solo, but I'd like to go to Vegas solo. You've done Vegas solo?
Yes.
Is it very relaxing?
It was.
Yes.
It really was.
Would be.
Yeah.
Who would you bring with you this time?
I'd probably go solo again if I can.
You're just going to go twice.
Just take 2 seats.
Yeah.
You'll have the most comfortable time. You got the seats right next to you.
Yeah.
All right. Well, there you go, Luke. Luke, congratulations, man. You're one step closer to winning another solo trip to Vegas.
Thanks, guys.
All right, there you go. That's Luke. He has no friends.
Don't say that. He's got lots of friends.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I'd take a friend. Well, I take my wife.
Yes.
But if I still had friends, I'd take them.
I'm your friend.
Thanks, Tommy. You want to come to Vegas?
Yes. I love Vegas.
I'm just starting to get over our Las Vegas trip. That's when I started coughing. That's when it was 2 months.
2 months.
A month and a half. That's when I started coughing.
Oh, yeah.
Because I like the smoke in the casinos.
It's so bad that people are texting my show asking about your cough.
Yeah.
I'm like, I think he's okay.
Well, yeah, I had x-rays, and then the doctor called me back for an appointment tomorrow, but I had like an appointment with my family doctor scheduled for Thursday.
Yeah.
And then when I got here today, my family doctor called me and they're like, hey, the doctor has an appointment opening tomorrow. Do you want to come in tomorrow? So technically I had 2 doctor's appointments scheduled for tomorrow afternoon.
Oh my God.
But I'm starting to feel a little bit better. I started taking it seriously. I started to hammer the Buckleys.
Yeah.
Like I'm like 5-6 doses of Buckleys a day. And it's starting to come around a little bit. But thank you for the concern, everybody. They're going to look at my x-rays and just say, oh, yes, he does have a huge heart. That's it. That's it, I think. That's probably all.
Oh, you're a big guy full of baloney.
Yeah, well, I'm going to be full of pizza here right away.
You will be.
Okay, that's going to do it for the oil stream today. If you've not yet tried these square footers, man, get down to Boston Pizza. They're absolutely delicious. We'll be on location again in April. Not sure on that location yet, but we'll definitely pass it along.
St. Albert, I think.
Oh, St. Albert already. Okay,
yeah.
Perfect. Oh, I like that. That's not far from the office. That's great. All right, St. Albert, get ready. We're going to be up in you in April. It's going to be a lot of fun. For Tom Gazzola, I am Dustin Nielson. Nielsen Show replay coming up on TuneIn and on iHeart. And another key word tomorrow morning with the Nielsen Show as it gets set for the Oilers and the Jets.